Here are the posts that inspired this section. I would really like some good examples of the progressive steps in building grooves with very detailed examples. And of course, since I'm wishing, in different genres. A really good step-by-step tutorial should do the trick. Some music writing programs are even less complicated than their built-in tutorials manuals. Cymbals. Non-drummers get basic kick, snare, even tom, fills. We don't get how to use cymbals, I include hi-hats in that, in any realistic or varied way. I'd like to see how to program grooves. Must be hard, because I believe you must feel them and play them live. We've learned about all the different instruments. Now let's take a look at how we can use them together to create a groove. And for that, we're going to take a look at the most famous drum groove in the world, the heavy standard. Let's first talk about what each of these notes is called in a groove. There are two major categories of notes that the other types fall into, and they are on beats and off beats. It's very simple. An on beat marks all the heavy counts, and an off beat marks all the light counts. So in a 4/4, the on beats are the 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the off beats are all the ands in between. If 16th notes are used, further distinction can be made between 8th note offbeats and 16th note offbeats. Let's start by looking at the different on-beats. The most important one is the downbeat, which is always the 1. The term comes from the orchestral world, where the lowest point of the conductor's baton signals the 1. Next is the backbeat, which describes the beats on 2 and 4. In a standard groove, the backbeat and the snare drum are one and the same. Note that in fast-paced songs, the backbeat may be on all the offbeats. You hear this a lot in punk music and all sorts of polkas and marches. Similarly, ballads use less backbeats, usually just on the 3. Where exactly your backbeats fall is also dependent on your meter. In a 6/8, the backbeat will fall on the 4. In a 3/4, it'll fall on the 2 and the 3, or just on the 3, and so on. The only offbeat that has its own name is the upbeat. The upbeat is an unaccented beat before the start of a new phrase. It is always the last beat in a bar. It also has its name from the baton movements of a conductor who moves the baton up before he goes down for the 1. In a 4/4, the upbeat is usually the 4 and.